Next, I would like to invite Diane Baxter to provide an update on our Brownfields program.
Hi there, thanks, Millie. Yes, so I'm just going to give you a brief update today. We've had a series of four Brownfields roundtables around the state this year, and the fourth one is coming up on September 17th in Springfield at the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission offices. There's still time to sign up for that. Also, I just wanted to remind you that the EPA Brownfields grant application cycle is coming up. The announcements should be out in September. Applications due in November. Reach out to David Foss if you have any questions about the program or need help with any of the submittals. Well, I think that's about it. Thanks.
Thank you, Diane. At this time, I would like to invite Brian Roden to give us an update on the MassDEP site cleanup data management systems.
Thanks, Millie. So just a quick update on what's going on. Some of these things we've talked about before. The EDEP forms, some of those forms, and more specifically, the BWSC 104 and 107 had some larger revisions based on the 2024 MCP amendments, which were released. I believe that we're all through that process of revising all of the EDEP forms. There were some minor tweaks to some other forms related to the move of Boston, the address, and some email addresses that were changed, but that process should be all set. But if you notice any issues, please let us know as you're going through those forms. And the best way to notify us that is that email address down the bottom, the bwsc.edep@mass.gov. And then a couple other systems that we were dealing with, Searchable Sites and File Viewer. And Paul, if you can go to the next slide, I just have pictures of them so we know what we're talking about since we use terms interchangeably. The Searchable Sites data portal was kind of rebuilt the back end just on the way that MassDEP staff are uploading data to the portal is different. We no longer use EDEP. We have a different platform that we're using, and that trickle-down effect had Searchable Sites rebuilt. So that's the correct link to the Searchable Sites webpage there at the bottom. Make sure you're using that correct link. I think the old link is still active. We're taking that down shortly. Has led to a little bit of confusion because it's not updated. There definitely have been some bumps along the way with this whole transition of our data system. Things like we had issues with chemical data displaying incorrectly on the data portal. I believe all that's fixed. But again, if you have questions or concerns about the data, that bwsc.edep@mass.gov is the best way to get those questions or concerns to us. And then there are some issues with the Searchable Sites, the way things are sorting still. Different things sort differently in different web browsers, which I've realized, but we are working through those. And Paul, you can go to the next slide now. And so the file viewer was also rebuilt. This is the new file viewer. Again, the link is down there at the bottom. This was an exciting product release for us. This came out in July, I believe. So this is just a kind of a different way to search our data. And this now has both the internal forms that we are using now, which we are calling bare forms. You'll see that on some of those boxes there, as well as the old BWSC 101s and 102s and 128s that staff were using. And then it also has, as it had before, forms that are submitted through EDEP by LSPs. So your 104s and 105s and all the other forms there. And I think we're still working on our data systems. And again, if you have questions, please contact that email address, bwsc.edep@mass.gov. And I think that's it for me, Millie.
I also want to just continue to extend the opportunity for advisory committee members, licensed site professionals, the public in general, if you have areas that you would like to continue to float to MassDEP, our information email regarding the databases or features that might not be there and you used to use, and for whatever reason you cannot find them. Again, this is a time of transition. It's important for us to understand if there's a feature, if there's a service that it's lacking. We are again soliciting that input. So Brian, I think you continue to receive commentary and feedback with regards to the functionality or features of the databases. And we just want to ensure that everyone understands that we are in this construction mode, testing mode. And if there are issues, again, we need to know so we can capture them on a timely basis. So extending the invitation. Brian, I don't know if there's anything else you wish to add to that before we go on to the next one.
No, nothing to add, but that's a great point, Millie. You know, we look at the data from our internal view, and sometimes it's slightly different from the outside view. So we may not see something that LSPs do. So we definitely appreciate that feedback. And obviously this is a way that you're searching the data, so you need to be able to get there. And please let us know if there's issues.
Okay. Thank you, Brian.